Hey, morning or afternoon for you, probably, right? End of the day?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's afternoon, five almost.
Okay.
Thanks for volunteering again.
Yeah, no, I like this stuff and I do a lot of it for customers. So, like, it's mutually beneficial for me to be comfortable with it. So,
How were the dogs so far?
everything is great. I got all the way to the end, except for,
Okay.
it's not working. So,
Okay.
uh, and I started to look. I'm getting a five, and I don't know if other people are joining, or I know we got time still,
Yeah,
but
they are. They are any minute
okay.
now.
Awesome. I do my camera here. I'm a little disheveled here, but yeah, I apologize. I wasn't quite sure how much I was supposed to do or not do. So,
Yeah, like if the dogs are self-explaining, then yeah, then that would have been great. But if you didn't figure it out, I didn't want to spend you hours and hours to figure it out. So
no,
I'm eager to find out
yeah,
what's
and it's
going wrong and what we can improve on the docs.
the docs are pretty. I'll be honest with you, the docs are pretty good. I'm assuming I'm missing a token or something. I'm getting a 500 when I try to create a project.
Ah, okay.
So I started to look at it a little bit.
So as soon as you try to get Git data, apparently.
Yeah,
Okay,
or create
we'll
it.
figure it out in a minute. Yeah.
Cool.
Hi everyone else. Um, I asked in the professional services channel a while ago if one of them would be willing to demo our stuff, and mostly not mostly, our stuff being Gitaly and Gitaly HA. So Kevin volunteered. So today is Kevin's day to demo. Thanks, Kevin, to start off with for volunteering. Um, so for a bit of background, I basically gave Kevin instructions to use the Terraform stuff, the script. He executed that, and that seems to work brilliantly. And then I pointed him to the documentation on setting it up, and now we have um, a 500 error on creating a project, right, Kevin?
Yeah, and I just finished like literally 2 minutes ago. Tried to create the project, got the 500, and then we started the call. So I have not done anything yet.
Okay, could we try again, and then we'll debug with you?
Yep. Um, project.
I like Hell World more.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Just a checkup question. Did you run the checks test on the, I'm not sure if it includes the hooks actually, but on the Gitaly nodes, there's a check, and on the prefect nodes as well,
Yep, I did.
if those
So
were successful.
um, yeah, everything looked really good on the way too. So I think the prefect check is, I don't know which one it is off the top of my head, but is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know like this is the only Gitaly server with this still up, but all the Gitaly APIs came back positive. I mean, everything, I didn't have any issues all the way up until the end.
There's a second check which you run on the GitLab nodes. That is one of
Uh,
the standard GitLab rake tasks.
yep, I did run that. It looked good. Came back a little faster last time, but um,
Yeah, that's happy.
I did tell prefect, and this is, I don't know if you want me to drive or not, but
Well, if we got a 500, then I think the first place to look is the Rails production log.
okay.
If we had Sentry, we'd be looking at Sentry now, but we don't.
I can't remember. Oh yeah.
GitLab-Rails production.log. You're probably getting the health checks in there.
Could you scroll up a bit?
Yes, sir.
I think just a little bit more. Okay, virtual storage does not exist. A little down.
That is surprising because why does the rake task pass if this goes wrong?
Well, does the rate test just check for connectivity? Because it's
Right,
probably a mismatch between the
yeah.
storage name.
Okay, I think the rake task might only do a health check. If it would call server info, then that would catch this, but it maybe doesn't. So if this is the problem, then I think the first thing to look at would be GitLab RB on the Rails box. And I think it would generally be good if we made a note to use server info in the rake task. So somewhere at the top of your GitLab RB or somewhere are the Git data durs, and we want to see what those literally are. Oh, they're not in there.
Okay, that's on me then. I
But
assume
that's,
the config at the bottom replaces that with.
oh no, but this is a little weird because the rake task also ran on this box, and that was printing prefect. So
Yeah.
how does that
Yeah,
no
that was
prefect
strange.
exist if it's not in this file?
So I put this at the bottom. This configuration.
Oh, okay. So it's just you hadn't
Oh
hit
no,
the-
I'm sorry.
there
I
we
do
are.
have Git. I apologize.
Yeah.
I just jumped to the bottom because I didn't want to find
Yeah.
anything. So this is what we have.
Okay, and can you leave that up and then go to GitLab RB on the prefect box? So that's
yeah.
called
So
storage one. And on the top it's called prefect. That's where we're going wrong.
I think that is a bug in our docs. I think in the docs it does say storage one.
So can you change storage, Kevin, can you change storage one on prefect to be the little string prefect? Yeah, that one.
Sure. Like that?
Yeah, and then reconfigure on that box, and that should make the error go away.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then as a first couple of scenarios, I took some copy-paste some scripts from before. I wondered if you had went through the Grafana steps as well.
I did not.
Is that something we can do in a couple of minutes? So we have observability?
Some of it is already in there. So it's pretty fast to set up Grafana, and
okay, then
it's kind of,
let's try it.
It's no fun without.
Okay. Just to enable or disable login form.
Yeah, you need that because we want to log in as admin, and out of the box you can't log into Grafana as admin. So that's what that is for. And then because Omnibus created some random password for the admin, we have that set password thing at the end. Did you? Oh, you're copying it. Yeah. You used a tilde instead of a dash.
I thought I did. I moved it.
That didn't take so long, CJ, did it?
No, not at all. Oh, and then on the left you have the compass we can use for the graphing right now. There's no default graphs yet. In the left sidebar, the Explore tab. Or, John, do we still have to turn on failover, the feature flag, to have the primaries show up?
Yeah, yeah. The more interesting metrics require
Okay.
the failover and enable flag.
Then there's one more section in the docs, Kevin, right after or before Grafana. No, yeah, automatic failover and leader election. The next section, yeah. And
You want to
this is on
set
the
it to
prefect
memory.
node. Yep.
Yeah, is this on? I'm just trying to read. This is on Gitaly. Or on
On
Prefect?
the prefect node.
Okay.
I'll make a note of that.
It's already on, or did you just paste it there?
Yeah, no, I had it in there already. I think this is actually in a previous step. Yeah, when you're setting up Gitaly, it says to SSH into the prefect node and turn it on.
That should be on the prefect box, though. Is that in the docs? Is that under the Gitaly section?
It's on the prefect box.
No, it's on the prefect. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So we should have interesting metrics already.
So there would be Gitaly underscore prefect and then primaries. Yeah, sorry, on the enter promql query.
You want me to put one in?
Yeah, so if you type Gitaly underscore and then prefect, it will probably try to autocomplete. And then the primaries, yeah. And then what's the number 1 right now? That's the primary. So that's Gitaly 1.
Okay.
It's interesting. You can see that there's 6 lines, and that's because for a while we were advertising storage 1, and then we stopped advertising storage 1 and we started advertising prefect. So normally there would only be 3 lines there.
You can see the color change too.
Yeah, that's when so that before the color change is when you were getting to 500s.
Kevin, I wrote some failover scenarios. Do you want me to just talk you through them and as we go, or do you want to copy paste the commands from the Gitaly demo?
Whatever works for you.
Both.
Okay, I'm fine. You can walk me through it or paste it in the chat.
Okay, cool. So first, let's go for a successful then one. a successful failover without data loss. So if you now stop the Gitaly 1, which is primary, yeah, exactly that command. And if you go to the left pane again, you can click the update button, the auto update icon. Oh, this is hard to guide someone's mouse. I guess 5 centimeters up, depending on your screen. Yeah, that one. If you click the array to the right, you can auto update it every 5 seconds.
Okay. You can annotate in Zoom too, if you go to the 3 dots. If I get too slow in finding the things for you. But yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how that works, but that might be very interesting if we could annotate failover scenarios in our metrics.
I
Someone else
think
then take a note?
I think what Kevin is saying is that you can scribble on his screen.
Yeah.
with Zoom.
Oh,
Like if I'm really slow trying to find a
Grafana
button.
annotations.
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah. Feel free to draw on my screen if I'm not finding things fast
Okay.
enough.
Yeah, well, then I'm going to find out how I actually do that. But you can see the line going down and another one up. And in the table below, you see Gitaly 2. So if we go to GitLab right now, to the project you just created, on the, I don't know which tab. Yeah. So your README should still be there now. So that seems like a success. However, the first Gitaly is still down. If you bring it back up and then go to so if you bring the Gitaly back up, then now it is still behind. So if we create a write.
Do you want me to write before I bring it up?
No, yeah, well, then you have more data loss. Oh, we could also go into that potential data loss, I should say. You want to, I don't know, actually. Let's first bring it back up and try to reconcile it. So if you now look in the docs under prefect high availability, and then there's a reconcile command. Backend node recovery is the section. And this should be run on the prefect node. And then where the virtual storage is prefect, and the target is Gitaly 1. If I got it right.
And the target's Gitaly 1's internal IP?
I think Gitaly 1
The
as
logical
the
name.
storage name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think there's a dash in there.
Oh, yeah.
I actually don't know what this means.
Looks like some gRPC.
I think this
output.
means nothing. We don't know if something happened. This is just a gRPC client saying, "Hey, I'm doing stuff."
Okay. What other way can we make sure that it's back?
Well, I think if we want to see this do something real, we should first create a situation where it's behind. So take it.
Oh, and it wasn't, of course.
Yeah. So take it down
maybe-
again. Make
yeah.
an edit on the in the web interface, and then through a side channel, observe that it's down. Well,
yeah.
first,
Oh,
I
good
can talk you
catch.
through it. I'll talk you through it, but start by making an edit in the README.
Okay.
And use a distinctive commit message you can recognize. Very distinctive.
Yeah. it's all my commits here at GitLab.
Yeah.
Hello.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, if you go to the admin panel on this GitLab instance, and you look for this repository, then you can find the repository path. So at the bottom, there's latest projects. So you want to click the admin entry for this project. Yeah. And then there's Gitaly relative path, and we want that string. You want to copy paste that. And then on the Gitaly one, we're going to look up that directory via SSH. So you're going to var opt GitLab /git data /repositories, and then paste the string.
That's CD,
Yeah.
right? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks great. And now if you run git log, then you will not see your distinctive commit message. So this shows us that so we're behind. And if you run GitLab CTL start, then you will still be behind. And yeah, run git log again to see where we're at. Yeah. And now if you run if you rerun that one, I expect that the distinctive commit message will show up. I have no idea what reconcile is doing. Like, why is it synchronous?
Sorry, you just ran the reconcile command?
The reconcile is running on the right and it's not returning.
It's gonna try to walk the entire file system of the target, and then do a checksum on the target and the reference, and then schedule replication.
So we did the same thing earlier, and it returned almost immediately, and now we're still in it. And this is a demo system where the walk is going to return, like it's a trivial file system walk.
Is it actually able to connect? Because I see are those gRPC logs?
Yeah, it says connecting. It says the same thing it said last time. Kevin, what happens if you run git log on Gitaly 1? Maybe something already happened.
That's about right. Nah, nothing yet.
No. So
What about the logs on prefect? Or actually the logs on the target Gitaly node?
that's the same box we're talking about. So that would be GitLab CTL tail Gitaly. Paul, can you take over? Because I don't know what we're looking for.
So we're looking for the RPCs for either checksum or replicate. I don't see that at all. I just see health checks here. I'm wondering if this is do we have a static primary right now, or are we using failover?
I just saw calculate checksum come by. We're using failover.
Okay, because it's going to use whatever the node manager says is the primary. So if that's changing, we might not be looking at the right Gitaly node.
What is the target supposed to be in the reconcile command?
The target is the node that you want to reconcile. So the one that might have been down and missed had
It's
data
the one
loss.
that's behind.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think then we have to write. I think it just returned on the right.
Unavailable. So it was waiting apparently to
Unable to
something.
unable to reconcile. That's interesting. What does
So the
git log say?
The client may have been able to connect, but further downstream, the prefect to the Gitaly may not have been able to connect.
It did reconcile the node even though it failed. I do have my commit message.
Is one of the Gitaly nodes down right now?
Nope, don't think so. Well, we can use Prometheus to. Actually, I'm not sure. Does Prefect publish its view of the world whether nodes are up or down?
No. No, it doesn't. Not yet.
Yeah, we might want to, huh?
Yeah.
Because if we want to understand how Prefect is making decisions, having that data might help.
Yeah.
So it looks like this thing worked, but it was slow and it returned with an error. But we got the data back on the machine that was down. So
in an earlier iteration of this, I had progress logs. Do we want progress logs so we know that something is happening?
during reconciliation.
During reconciliation, when you call the subcommand.
I think that would be very useful. And also maybe not have those info logs from gRPC, because unless you really know gRPC.
We have an issue for that.
I think they're super confusing unless you know unless you know gRPC.
Yeah, that's a regression. I thought we had an issue from that from an older demo because they just started happening all of a sudden. It must be the gRPC log configuration.
It could be that the subcommand is not configuring logging, something like that. It could be that this is the default behavior of the library. I think we can wrap up this this scenario. Or is there something else we want to see here?
No, not really. Maybe, Kevin, you want to see how it works when we lose your data? Or
it's not ideal, but sure.
Yeah, ultimately it's about the same we just did. So so we take down the primary, and then we create new data. We bring back the old primary, and then we fail over until we're back to the old primary.
Okay. Yeah.
So first, let's understand who is the primary now. Oh, Gitaly 2. So let's take that.
Is this the primary value?
Yeah.
Just curious.
And on the Gitaly storage, it says Gitaly 2 in the second column.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them reports 1, and that's the one who's it.
Okay. So you want me to take down the primary then?
Yes, please. Yeah. And then if we refresh the project page, we should still see your high commit. So if you create a by commit now or something else, then Prefect can't replicate that to the node that's down right now. So if we bring back the Gitaly node, and I guess the easiest way afterwards to make sure this is the primary is just to take down the other ones. So 2 and no 1 and 3. Yeah, let's observe for a second through Grafana that we're actually back to number 2.
It's thinking about it.
It did flip again. Okay, so, and if you now refresh the readme.md tab, then you'll see that the goodbye tab is gone.
Yep.
There you go.
The line's missing.
Yeah. So ultimately what happened is that we didn't reconcile the node, so the data wasn't there. And we filled over to a node that was behind. If any write would have come in to the secondary before we filled over as a primary, then it would have reconciled it again automatically through replication. But that didn't happen, so we lost your data. Not an ideal scenario, but I just wanted to go through the scenario. So, Jacob, do we now want to try your packet loss?
Yeah, I'm just curious what will happen. So this is kind of a test of if the health checks are working. So first turn on all the Gitalies again.
Okay.
And now we want to check which one is primary in Grafana. So that's Gitly 2. Okay, now if you go to the Gitly demo doc, then there's an IP tables command that I pasted there that we're going to run on Gitly 2. Should be near the top of the document.
Sorry. The drop one?
Yeah, the one with -A. The one up. Yeah, that installs a rule, or it adds a rule. That's why it has capital A. That does a drop on port 8075. And when
which node would you like me to do that time?
Gitly 2,
Alrighty.
because that's the one we need. So now we have a very bad failure scenario. And let's refresh the README in the browser. Wow, did it just do a failover? Can we look at the...
Yes, because another line is back and we didn't reconcile yet. So we filled over.
What does the dashboard say? The Grafana dashboard. We're back to 1.
It has my...
Yeah, that's great. I didn't know if we were going to pass this test. I hadn't tried it, but we passed the test, so that's good.
All right.
I guess we have a short timeout on the health check. Could that be? Do we have a timeout on the health check?
We do. I forgot what it's set to.
But as long as we have a timeout, we're going to detect packet loss and give up. So great. So yeah, you can just take the IP tables rule out again, and that's the same command except you replace the capital A with a capital D. And if we had Grafana metrics or a dashboard that showed whether the node is healthy, it would come back up now. But we don't, so we just have to trust that it prefect sees it's back. Cool. I was really hoping this would be a pathological failure, but it's not.
Don't usually say it, but yeah.
Then we could try one more thing.
So, I don't know if it's of interest.
Yeah, it's another pathological failure potentially. But I'm still Googling as we go. So Apple is going to try failover and then fork bomb the primary. The problem, I guess, is that I don't regularly fork bomb myself. So I'm trying to... Does someone know how to fork bomb yourself?
Oh, it's not too hard. You can just Google it. I don't know one by heart, but I'll look for one.
I'll copy paste the one I found.
Okay, you found one?
Yeah, copy pasting scripts that are known to bad from the internet doesn't seem like a good idea, but well.
Oh, it's a cute one.
Potential fork bomb in the doc.
Yeah,
it's under 0.7a.
So Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say too. I'm just curious because Gitaly Node 2, even though we brought 8075 back up, it still does not have the third commit.
So you could try running reconcile with target Gitaly 2, and then it should come back. Or you can do an edit in the web browser and then it should also come back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but now
That makes
it
sense.
was super quick though. The replication scheduled number 41. Did you execute that just a second ago?
I did. It came back instantly, and the replication happened.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this time it was like milliseconds quick.
Also, the first
Okay,
time it
cool.
was super quick.
The second time might have been quick too. Maybe it just didn't return.
Yeah, that's still weird. So I think having some sort of progress information would help. Yeah, so that fork bomb is, I don't really know what it does, but it looks like it's just tricks the shell into creating lots of subshells, and you're just going to run out of bits. And it probably means you'll have to reboot that box in GCP after you run that. So.
Okay. You put the in the demo doc.
Yeah, under number 7 and then :A. Oh, it didn't update yet for you. That's weird.
Yeah, so you type it.
Oh, there you go. So 7A. And then after the first colon of bomb, then copy the first colon until the rest of the line. So we move on.
And of course, it has to be an obfuscated one.
yeah. But yeah, this is the first one I found though. So the colon all the way to 7A, and then after the M, you can copy paste everything.
Okay.
If you paste that into the Gitaly node, that's the primary right now.
Gitaly 1.
Okay.
Yep. All right. You want me to paste this right here?
Yeah, except for the B should, yeah.
If you run PS now, you'll see. You should see something bad.
I can't. Oh, I can. It's slow. It's doing something. It's definitely delayed now on that terminal.
Yeah.
There we go. So the question
Could
now
you go
is,
to the Grafana tab?
yeah, does Prefect figure out this is going on?
So you're saying Apple's going to be doing this intentionally to validate?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
They're testing most of their systems with this, and apparently only like 10% catches it. Maybe we don't either.
I don't think we look for this.
Yeah, I thought we did a health check, and that would shell out a Git. And if a shell out of Git fails, then
Does the health check shell out or the server info shell out?
Oh, the server info does. Oh, okay. So if we're not hitting any of the new resources.
If we had a health check or a check that tries to spawn a command, then we would catch this. But I don't think we have one. And if you try to load, this is going to be fun. If you try to load the page in the browser, if you try to load the README, that will spawn a command and that will fail because that machine is now in a bad state. Or not.
This is surprising.
Are we fork bomb proof?
Or is that a good fork bomb? I did come back and say done.
Actually, that's interesting. It could be that the fork bomb is gone now. If you run PS, then you can see if you get normal output or not. Yeah, okay, so the fork bomb is gone.
You want me to run it again and then? Wow.
Yeah, let's run it again and refresh the browser and see if we can at least get Gitaly to fail.
And if you run PS? No, you can't, of course, because it's still fork bombing itself. So I guess it's unavailable right now.
Well, the strange thing is that we keep getting the README. So maybe we're lucky. Maybe we're not bombing hard enough. It's strange to be using these metaphors, but maybe we need to put more pressure on it.
Yeah, let's keep that for the next time, though.
Yeah,
I'm happy that we still serve from the same Gitaly somehow, but yeah.
there are ways to. It could just be the wrong fork bomb. We've had process leaks, and Gitaly is at risk of having process leaks because it constantly spawns stuff. So if we would have a bunch of processes that don't go away, then it should be possible to exhaust the maximum number of processes.
Yeah, I guess let's try that another time.
Yeah.
So Kevin, first to you to evaluate what did you think and what were your things we could improve?
Honestly, so I do a lot of HA installs and geo installs. So I've been through all of our documentation a lot, and it's pretty good, to be honest with you. I didn't have any problems. I think I just kind of like went through and pasted as I went along. I think the only thing we saw was that one.
The storage one that
was supposed that was the only thing. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, honestly, it took me 20 minutes to set everything up. It took me longer to get my GCP credentials working than it did to set up Gitaly and Prefect because I haven't used Terraform against GCP yet. So
yeah. Okay, that's good news.
I think it's pretty good.
And then operating it and seeing what it does. What are your notes?
I think for me, it's going to be more like when I actually run into problems and I start looking at the logs, right? Like here, everything worked and this is great. The reality is I'm going to mistype something or mismatch a key. And I'll be curious to see how things work when I'm sitting in front of a customer and trying to get, that's it.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's all logical and makes sense. I think the keys may be a little bit confusing, the tokens, because there seems to be a lot of them, but it's not too good. Go ahead. So, yeah, I'm excited. A lot of customers really want this, so I can't wait.
I'm trying to think if we can reduce the number of keys, but I guess we can't without sacrificing security.
No, yeah.
Sorry, I'm typing a note. There's a lot of keys, and it's hard to get them right. Right. Okay. Cool. Then let's guess. No, I guess let's go through the rest of the notes. So, Paul, I know that I sent you back as a reviewer to have less verbose output, but could you make the output of the reconcile command a little more verbose again?
You got it.
I hope you can just repick a commit and it's still there.
No, I'm gonna have to make it a little better. I think now I notice what's missing here. I'm putting some notes in the issue that I linked in the doc, but yeah, it won't take too
long. And then John, could you look into the GitLab break task and try to use server info instead of the gRPC health check?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. That's 2 down. Oh yeah, last week I promised to move the automatic failover section to the prefect in the docs. I'll actually do it this week. I'm sorry. We don't know why the first reconcile was slow, right, Paul?
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, it just might have been a replication that took a long time. For all we know, I don't know.
If we have a log, then, like if we have a progress info, then we would have a better, I would take that as the first step to this. And then if it happens again, at least we can see where it hangs.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and I guess I'm looking for a volunteer now. The note was, it would be nice to understand what the node manager's view is of a Gitaly status. I see John's...
I can do that.
Okay. Well,
that's also going to be like a Prometheus gauge.
I think so. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm
it
going
could
to
be.
leave implementation to John. Oh, yeah, Jacob gets
Oh,
lost.
yeah. I was. No, it could be a gauge per internal node.
Yeah,
Where,
that's what I was thinking.
and per prefect process, where prefect says, I think that this internal node is healthy.
Yeah.
And then you can. Yeah.
All right, those were all the notes. Kevin, thanks again for volunteering. I hope you learned a bunch. Yeah, and we didn't put you on the spot a little too much.
No, I appreciate it. I actually like the opportunity. So thanks, guys.
All right, then.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin, and everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.